Is exam anxiety really necessary? Understanding and supporting your child through the pressure. Hello, dear parents. Every time exam season rolls around, it's not just our children who feel the nerves. Let's admit it. We parents get a little anxious too, don't we? Exam anxiety is often considered a natural response when a child faces academic pressure. Almost every child experiences it at some point. However, understanding it simply as a normal reaction may not be enough for us to truly grasp what our kids are going through or to effectively support them. Before we dive deeper, let's take a quick look at what we'll be exploring today. First, we'll uncover the unique characteristics of exam anxiety in children. Then, we'll talk about how this kind of stress can negatively impact both their physical and mental well-being. And most importantly, we'll discover some simple but powerful strategies to help our children manage and overcome exam anxiety. Alright, let's get started. Understanding your child's exam anxiety. No two kids are alike. Many parents might think, it's normal to be nervous before an exam. Right? And yes, to some extent that's true. But this type of anxiety has very specific traits that we need to understand clearly to support our children better. First of all, each child experiences exam anxiety differently. Not every child reacts in the same way. Some kids are carefree or only feel a bit jittery. Others may feel deeply overwhelmed and anxious. That's why observing and understanding your child's unique level of anxiety is crucial. Avoid comparing your child to their peers or siblings. Every child is a unique individual with their own emotional responses to pressure. Secondly, exam anxiety doesn't just show up right before the test or in the exam room. It can creep in and linger throughout tutoring sessions, evening study times, and even at the mere mention of the word exam. The pressure to perform can stick with your child for a long time, creating ongoing anxiety. Just imagine how that constant worry, day after day, can weigh on a child. Did you know that even before the pandemic, studies showed that about 10% of boys and 25% of girls aged 15 to 18 were struggling with excessive exam anxiety? That's a statistic worth paying attention to. Why? Because when a child is too anxious, key skills like memory, concentration, creativity, and flexibility in problem-solving can all be negatively affected. A child might study really hard and know the material well, but their mind could go blank in the exam due to anxiety. As a result, children who experience high levels of exam anxiety often perform worse than those with lower anxiety levels. And this effect doesn't discriminate based on ability, whether your child is top of the class or an average student. Anxiety can still take a toll. In fact, high-achieving students, who often feel the pressure of expectations, might be even more anxious. Don't underestimate exam anxiety. Unexpected impacts on your child's health. So, what happens if your child remains anxious about exams for a long time? Is it really that serious? The answer, parents, is yes. And the effects can be far more serious than we might think. Prolonged exam anxiety can take a serious toll on both physical and mental health. It's not just a fleeting feeling. Physically, your child might suffer from headaches, stomach aches, a racing heart, difficulty breathing, insomnia, or loss of appetite. These symptoms not only make your child tired but also impact their ability to study and prepare effectively. When this kind of anxiety becomes a regular part of their life, it can even evolve into clinical anxiety disorders. For instance, generalized anxiety disorder, GAD, your child may feel constantly tense, restless, unable to focus, and struggle with sleep. Panic disorder, sudden, intense episodes of fear that include symptoms like rapid heartbeat and shortness of breath. Social anxiety disorder, a fear of social interaction, where your child may avoid speaking or feel like everyone is judging them. These disorders don't just impact your child's current quality of life. they can persist into adulthood. In severe cases, when anxiety becomes unbearable, some children may even resort to self-harm or suicidal thoughts. Sadly, we've seen this in countries where academic pressure is extremely intense, like Japan and South Korea. That's why, dear parents, we must take exam anxiety seriously and give our children the attention and care they need. Please don't dismiss their emotions with phrases like, "There's nothing to worry about," or "Everyone has to take exams." Instead, be their safe haven during these stressful times. Let's help our children overcome exam anxiety with these simple methods. The good news is that we can help our children manage exam anxiety. Here are some easy, time-saving methods that are not only practical but also effective. And the best part? These aren't just for the next exam. They're life skills your child will carry into the future. 1. Teach your child to relax. It sounds simple, but it works wonders. Teach your child deep breathing exercises. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold it for a few seconds. Then exhale gently through the mouth. Or help them visualize a peaceful scene, a sunny beach, a quiet forest, before they start studying or enter the exam room. These exercises help calm the nervous system and bring immediate relief. 2. Reframe negative thoughts. When kids are anxious, their thoughts tend to spiral into negativity. "I'm terrible at this." Or, "I'm definitely going to fail." Sit with your child and help them recognize these thoughts. Then, challenge them together. For example, if your child says, "I'm going to mess everything up," ask them, "Is there any proof of that? Have you ever done well on a test before?" Helping your child remember their past successes can boost their confidence and reduce irrational fear. 3. Promote positive study habits. Encourage your child to study with a clear plan. Break study goals into smaller, manageable steps. Focus on the process instead of obsessing over the result. When children feel prepared, they feel more in control, and that reduces anxiety. Help your child create a realistic study schedule, and celebrate their efforts along the way. A final note to parents: be present, be understanding, be their rock. Dear parents, brushing off your child's exam anxiety might seem harmless, but it can have lasting consequences. If not addressed, anxiety can prevent your child from reaching their full potential. And more importantly, it can damage their mental well-being, self-confidence, and love for learning. Let's be there for them, not just with words, but with real support, active listening, and genuine empathy. Your love and understanding could be the most powerful emotional support your child receives during this challenging time. And with that support, they'll not only survive exam season, they'll come out stronger, more resilient, and more prepared for life ahead.